ultimately, no, we are, out of the 2,000 units that the Dells owns, 0 of them are subsidized by Section 8 or HUD or anything. We prefer to be a hand up, not a handout. We're here to help people that want to help themselves or that are just simply on a fixed income and there's not another option, but want a nice granite deal, a brand new fridge, nice brand new floors, new paint, new bathrooms, tubs, and everything in them is brand new. The only thing that you will recognize is, the only thing that will remain there is what you can't see, the actual walls or the sheetrock. Even the paint gets redone. The roofs have all been redone. We don't want a bunch of maintenance issues on the backside, so we do the best we can to get them in tip-top shape before we ever open.
And then my follow-up question, I know you probably can't say exactly, but if you are approved and you get your variance, what is your timetable?
We are going to move at lightning speed.
Okay, so
As
what
fast
does that
as-
mean?
As fast as building and safety will permit us and the St. Louis County for what they do, we will move as fast as we can and get approved as fast as we can.
So is that like 6 months you think you'll
We hope,
open,
yes, we
or-
hope to have everything done, definitely by year end, but hopefully in 6 months.
Thank you.
I have
Yes, ma'am.
for Matt, you had mentioned and I'm only bringing this up for the ward because I've had similar problems with the ward. I'm not sure what y'all got the ward stuff on. It is Ward 6. It's not Ward 5.
That was my understanding as well.
And if you're looking at the numbered list, the spreadsheet, that's wrong. If you're looking at the map, that's right. I know that from experience, so you can talk to Nikki maybe, I don't know, somebody gave me, not Nikki. Chief.
Happy to look into it.
Just so you know, because it sounds like you have that on the paperwork. Because I've had experience in my ward that their addresses are in Ward 4, but they're really in Ward 7. I was just letting you know that. Yeah, I think it's across the board, just so you know.
Olean Apartments always shows up Ward 3, but it's Ward 2.
Yes, I'll end it and open it up for questions if y'all don't have any more. We are here to be a partner with the community, a steward to the community. We donate things all the time. Hundreds of turkeys get donated every Thanksgiving. We are a do this to help kind of company. We're not here to try to, I promise you, when you see the landscaping that's required, and every two parking spaces, there will be a 4-inch wide tree. Like all parking lots that are currently dim and have been dim will be lit up like a Christmas tree, but all light will be angled down so it doesn't mess with the neighbors. There is a ton of thought and a ton of zoning code and other codes that go into this that have to be followed, and we intend to follow them all and be a great partner for this city if they so choose.
And I'm sorry, I have one last question.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
the property going to be fenced, not fenced, like
We
chain link?
We
but-
don't we don't like to fence them. It's kind of gives a cagey feel.
Okay.
It's not necessarily if we might need to get approval to do that, and if we do, we will come back and ask for that approval. The only reason we have ever thought about doing that is for safety reasons. If you end up having a lot of issues with people coming by or thefts or breaking in vehicles or things like that, we will take every necessary measure to ensure the safety of our tenants.
Okay. And that's not a plan at this moment?
It's not right now.
Okay.
No, but
Thank you.
if needed, we can look at it.
Any other questions from council members? This is a public hearing, and we're getting ready to start the public hearing portion of the meeting. At this time, if anybody from the audience would like to come up and speak, ask questions, make statements, ask for information, now's the time to do it. And as everybody else, if you just state your name in the beginning of your presentation, ma'am, when you
My
finish signing.
name is Rena Traylor. I stay at 7251 Bona Drive. Mr. Brandon, where are you? I've been a landlord for 35 years. I'm familiar with what you guys are doing. You say it's not going to be low-income housing.
Could you please speak into the microphone for
You
the
say
record?
it's, I want to be able to talk to the man and look at him too. But at the same time, it's not gonna be, where people can afford it. When you say disabled, Social Security, and single moms, what type of people are we talking about? What are the income brackets of these particular people based on your finality of disability, single moms, and Social Security? What is the base income of them? What is the annual yearly income that these people that are gonna live there have to make?
If, we need to have it, all conversations recorded. So obviously you would step aside, he would answer the question. We normally do that right there,
Okay.
side to side.
Oh, then go ahead, honey,
Yeah.
100%.
So I can't really speak for the Dells as to what their approval is on the income side. I'm not in that process. I'm simply a consultant for this project, being I deal with larger municipalities. If you would like for me to speak on my personal company that I own, we,
No, not yours, the band that owned that building.
well,
That man that
it's
owned
the
that
same
building.
concept, but I
You
can't.
The same as you?
Yes, ma'am. I do the same.
Tell me about it.
Okay, my company's called Countdown Properties. You're more than welcome to look them up.
Excuse me. If you can't represent that this is relevant to this application, I really don't think we ought to get into
I agree with
something that has nothing to do with this applicant and this process.
I agree.
Appreciate
Well, the
that.
thing of it is that if they're gonna rehab, and understand me very well, you can't say, well, I'm gonna take a hotel and make it into apartments. The square footage has to be there because I've done rehabbing. I did a 30-unit, the largest I've ever done in my 35 years of being a landlord in the city of St. Louis, okay? In the Citrus West End is where I did my last rehab. At the same time, there are different square footages that you have to go by. And then when you say you're gonna rent to these people, if you don't have an idea of what type of people are gonna be living in these apartments, we just went through hell on North Haley. I stay in the 6th Ward. I've been there 40 years, or 42. How many is it, Butch? But either way, I don't want that around me.
We don't either.
The type of people that have been in that area, and I'm practically around there every day, have caused so much destruction in our neighborhood. Now that it's closed down, our streets are cleaner. We don't have the riffraff. We don't have the baby pushing strollers going up and down Henley Road. We don't have none of that. So I can't see anything else but low income. Because when you base what a person on disability and Social Security and single moms, they won't be able to afford it. They will not. They will not. You can't tell me or this board how much the rent is gonna be. You saying the people might not have the money, but I'm familiar with different programs. HUD, Section 8, you say it's not gonna be that.
No.
But there's a thing called project base. It's not based on the people, it's set on the building.
It's still subsidized. We don't do that.
It's still subsidized.
We don't do that.
I can't see it. It's gonna go back down to what it was when the original owner rented it out, extended stay. And that's when we had all the riffraff in our neighborhood. You don't live in Ward 6. The owner don't live in Ward 6. So you all would never know what we've gone through in the past 3 years when he turned it over to the low-income people. So you can't even say that you're gonna rent it to people that are disabled. You can't do that. You got to have some type of subsidy. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that there is no way that you ought to gonna come and spend all these thousands of dollars and don't get no government money.
We don't.
Please, show it to me in writing.
That's not a
I'm
problem.
done.
Thank you.
Show it-
Thank you for trying to answer the questions. and-
Show it to me in writing.
Next. And I believe you may have already signed in earlier, so you're free to just state your name in the beginning of the presentation and please continue on.
I'm Mrs. Royal. I live in Ward 6 and I've been here over 40 years. I have several concerns about the proposed rezoning of the hotel from commercial to residential. I will present some of my concerns and respectfully request that all questions are answered before a vote is taken. Thank you. The kitchen is the heart of the home. It is a place where you break bread together, fellowship, and bring family and friends together for a common purpose. Seniors often prepare large meals for family and friends. Will all the apartments be furnished with a regular apartment-sized stove or larger with at least 3 burners and an oven that is large enough to hold a turkey? If not, then what makes this project different from an extended stay hotel using a microwave, hot plate, or similar device? If this project is approved, will we wind up with an extended stay hotel masquerading as apartments? The Dales already have the Hazelwood property listed as apartments. Has this project already been approved? Based in Mountain Home, Arkansas, the Dales Corporation was founded in 2018 with the goal of providing sustainable transient housing throughout Arkansas and the Midwest. Transient temporary housing is often used for travelers, tourists, or emergency needs, focusing on short-term stays. The word transient causes grave concern for me and others. This location is part of a permanent, well-established neighborhood. Does this mean short-term rental agreements? How can we be assured that this complex is about building community and longevity if the focus is on transient housing? How will the parking shortfall be resolved? Will there be privacy fencing erected so that current residents do not have to see that unattractive black building when they look out their windows? Has the city of Hazelwood received accurate information in order to make an informed decision? Members of the council, I have 3 final questions to ask you, and I would appreciate it if each of you would respond individually so that you are on record with these comments. Do you want this project in your ward? Do you want to look out your back window and see this unsightly black building every day? Would you or a member of your family live in this proposed apartment complex? I have a copy of my questions I would like to hand to you if that's acceptable.
Yes, we definitely need a copy. There were some questions in the beginning there that you went by that I don't think anybody got jotted down here, so.
I'm sorry.
We're going to try and answer the questions as
Okay.
best we can. I would assume this will be your moment to speak, if you want to try and answer anything that she just made comments on.
Ms. Royal, how are you?
Go ahead and stay there and speak into the microphone.
Okay.
Thank
so,
you.
So as to the first question she asked about the kitchens, I think I've already answered that once. Yes, we will definitely have a kitchen area. Countertops, backsplashes, new cabinets. There will have, the coding definitely requires the cooking, I'm sorry? I don't have.
Just to answer by.
Are these a copy of hers? Okay. Will they all be furnished with a regular apartment-sized stove or larger, with at least 3 burners and all? As far as the size goes, I do not know. I just know that whatever does go in there, I know that kitchens require a cooking, there has to be a cooking apparatus in each unit, and it has to pass code, and that will happen. As to what the size is or how many burners or any of that, I cannot comment on that at this time. I don't know. I just know that code will be met when it comes to a kitchen. What makes this project, her next question is if not, what makes this project different from an extended stay hotel using a microwave, hot plate, or similar device? The main difference in between a extended stay hotel and this is there are no background checks on the people that live there with extended stays. There are 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks at a time, and they get paid. They have to pay $300 to $400 a week and with no background check, and they can live anywhere. That cannot happen here. We are 100% backgrounds on everyone who is going to live there. In addition, it's going to be a lease. We need you to prove that you can afford to pay for it, as well as pass a background to show that you're not going to be a risk to any of your neighbors. We're not trying to spend this much money to turn it into what she's assuming that it will become. None of our other properties have become that. You always, I mean, have an issue or two with some tenants with the law of averages, but by far, we don't have that many problems. The Dells already have the property listed as apartments. That's because all the Dells does is apartments. If this does not get done, then we are not going to, it will come off of the website. It's that simple. The word transient causes grave concern for her. I don't know. I have not checked their website to see if that's what it says. If it does, he needs to change it because it's permanent housing. It's literally the reason here. So if it was transient housing, he could exist under the current hotel motel, and that's transient. I mean, permanent requires all the sprinklers, all the, everything that goes with it to make it reach code for permanent housing. That's what this is being asked to be requested to go to. I don't know, the shortfall be resolved, parking shortfall. We only allow one car per the lease. It's never been an issue at any of the other properties, 20-plus properties that he currently operates. So we don't expect it to be an issue here. Again, roughly 30% of the renters in each complex are simply either too elderly to drive themselves or don't make enough money to actually own a car. And that's one of the beautiful things about Hazelwood is y'all have public transit nearby this property and walkable distances. It actually works out pretty good for them. In addition, with delivery services, new Amazon, Costco, Walmart, all that comes to your house now. A lot of our tenants are currently using that. Will there be privacy fencing so currents do not have to see the attractive? I'm sorry, it's a brand new paint job. I did not pick the colors, but once the doors goes on, there will be, there will be a lot of offsetting. It won't just look like an old rundown building. But I'm sorry you don't like the color of the new paint. Has the city of Hazelwood received accurate information in order to make an informed decision? I'm being as open and honest and transparent as I possibly can be. Every step of the way since I've been involved, that has been my pledge. It will continue to be my pledge. I will not do anything. I will not do without, especially if we get to building and safety, we will not do anything without, we will ask. It's easier to get permission than it is to get forgiveness. And Mark has found that out, the owner, and we're not doing that again. So as honesty and transparency is 100% the way that I will finish this out if allowed. Members of the council, 3 final questions. Do you want this project in your ward? I hope so. That I can't answer that question. Do you want to look out your back window and see this unsightly building every day? We're going to try to make it as sightly as possible. I mean, the landscaping is going to make a big difference with the big trees. Parking lot's going to be brand new. The whole thing, new striping. All the ADA units that are required will be completely updated. It will meet all Disability Act laws that are required. It will meet all zoning codes that are required, and we abide by the Fair Housing Act. And would you want a member of your family to live in? I hope so. I mean, everyone that I've ever done personally or that the Dells has ever done has 100% been successful and not had an issue and given a place for tenants that are good people that don't make as much money as others, a nice, quiet, safe place to live.
And that's my point. That's my point.
Good people?
If the people don't make the money, how can you say it's not going to be a low income or subsidized housing?
Oh,
Ma'am, that's a whole issue that the city of Hazelwood cannot enforce. There are federal laws under the Housing Act of civil rights and so forth that we cannot, it's not whether or not we want it or not, but you keep bringing up income. The city of Hazelwood cannot consider that. It would be against federal law to even do that. Okay? So we cannot keep commenting back and forth on how much somebody makes. That's under federal law, housing. And let him finish here. If you want to come up and speak after he's done speaking, you could have the microphone. Okay?
I know she requested it earlier, and I'm more than welcome to put it on record in writing, in black and white, that we will not be Section 8 or HUD in any way.
And we cannot, as a city of Hazelwood, require that, ask that, or do anything else.
I'm not
I know
saying-
you are, ma'am, but we cannot interact with those conversations. It would be unlawful for us to do that, okay?
So,
I have a couple
ma'am.
of follow-ups.
Yes, ma'am.
If that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. I do too. So you said for us to go ahead and, to Google the Nest.
Yes.
And I did.
Yes.
And those are really nice, studio units.
Small, but yes.
Will this also have like a community, laundry area?
oh,
Is
there'd
that
be
what-
multiple,
Okay,
yes.
so that's, one of the things that I did sort of go down as a Google rabbit hole and realize that the Dells does not have, a rating with the Better Business Bureau. Do you?
Oh, I don't know, I don't
Okay.
either.
And then
I don't know.
also, sort of fell into this thing, that there's, a lawsuit, with the Dells and the Kansas City. Do you know anything about that?
I do not.
And that's tenants that are, suing this, developer for, a bunch of different issues. You don't know anything
I
about
don't
that
know
either?
anything about that.
Okay,
No, I don't, but I can find out about it.
okay, yeah, I would love some more information on that.
Yes, I 100% can. Would you like for me to text that now? Or,
I mean, whenever you have it,
Yeah.
it'd be great.
I have one more question too. I just find, I know we have a lot of problem with like littering and, I'm always picking up litter in my
Yes, ma'am.
neighborhood. Do you have any plan for, like, I know you said you're gonna have a master tenant there, but,
absolutely.
like, if I have trash in my front yard, the city would absolutely come after me, but like, it's really hard in apartment complexes, cause you don't know who's putting the trash out there. Is there gonna be someone keeping that lot looking nice and, cause I
abs-
know the neighbors in Ward 6, they don't wanna look at that.
No,
That's why I walk through the apartment complexes by my house and I'm constantly picking up trash, cause I don't wanna look at it, but I don't wanna make Butch go out and do it, cause he's in Ward 6, so
No,
like,
but Butch will not be asked to do that.
I just
No
wanna
one
make sure
will.
it's done,
We,
because we don't wanna look at that.
the one thing that I will get back to is anytime you make an investment or commit to making an investment of this size, it makes zero sense to let things like that happen.
But it happens, I'm just saying, cause I've seen other apartment complexes that it
Right.
happens too.
Well,
And
we're
houses too, it's not just apartments, but I
Yes.
just wanna make sure that you have a plan in place to keep.
We absolutely
Once
do.
people move in, that you're gonna keep it looking like that.
if I mean, this is the largest single one that he's looked at doing. It's probably going to take multiple master tenants to handle a property of this size with this many tenants. So
I mean, it'd be nice if the tenants, everybody picked up after themselves, but we know in our
that's I'm
world that
just
doesn't
speaking
happen,
from
so-
experience. That will never happen in any demographic, if you ask me. But I will
Yeah.
tell you that we do everything we can to keep the property tip-top shape. I mean,
Okay.
it's in everyone's best interest. Not very many people want to live in, when it's
No one does.
yeah.
No one, I mean, no one wants to live where there's trash, I didn't mean.
And
that.
I understand her concern and,
Yeah,
and
so.
Ms.
I'd like
Royal's
you to
concern.
Keep it nice,
Absolutely.
through and through.
Any other questions from council members? Any other questions from the public? Yes, ma'am. I don't think we've finished.
Yeah, I had a couple questions. I'm glad she asked about the laundry stuff, and that's a question, because I mean, I just mentioned that there's nothing in Hazelwood for people to do. So you talk about 150, especially in that area where there's only liquor stores over there. There's nothing over there. Dollar Tree is down the street in Florissant, but if you go down Hanley, there's, especially with McDonald's burned, there's no food places. There's nothing there. Will there be a park in their neighborhood, or will there be anything for the people that live in that community to do? Because if there's no park, if there's no gym, if there's none of that, they're coming right out to cause problems. Like, yeah, they may not be breaking in cars in where they live at, but right around the corner, if it's low affordable housing right here, and I live right up the street, they're not breaking into the cars where there's cameras and good lighting, but there's not that good of lighting on Laddie or Hanley. So I'm just saying, if there's nothing for those people to do there, I kind of question, like, 150, and then like he's saying, they can have guests and whoever they want over there. It's like, what's stopping their friends who have a car from coming over there and doing things that they shouldn't be doing? So that is some of my concerns is you're bringing that many people in an area where like I said, we don't have a civic center really to house that many people and let people go there and play. So what are we expecting to do with the single mothers? What activities are they going to put their kids in? Because I can tell you from experience, single mothers with not a lot to do in the neighborhood, those kids are gonna find stuff to do that aren't and I don't even blame the kids. When you don't have anywhere to go, when you don't have a pool nearby, and you think that that sprinkler system at Music Park is gonna keep those kids busy, you gotta be coming up with something better, like for us to rezone that. And then from what I just looked up, if we rezone it, we're losing money. We're not making any money off of rezoning it to residential. We're losing money because commercial is more. And that's what my question was about earlier, but I see he was already commercial, so it didn't change. But him changing from commercial to residential, we're losing money off of that. So we're losing money. We don't have anything to subsidize these people coming here, like nothing for them to play with or do. I don't really see anything beneficial out of this happening. You know, I just said we need luxury apartments, and now we're talking about less than luxury. Like I said, we're trying to bring nicer people here, and I'm telling you for a fact that we put something like that there, more homeowners are gonna continue to move, and we're trying to retain, and that's what I was saying about the cops earlier, like, what are we doing that makes people wanna stay here? Like, me as a homeowner, seeing 7 cops go up and down Laddie with their sirens on, that don't make me feel any better. I'm like, dang, like, I need to do something else. So I'm telling you, if I already, like she said, we don't see as many stragglers going down Henley. I don't see as many people on the bus stop. I don't see as much littering. Like, she's right, like, no offense to the McDonald's that's burned down, like, I don't, with the McDonald's and that thing not there, like, I can go home, like, and the cops, we having a good time. It's 10 o'clock at night, I see the police sitting in the lot, like, they're bored at this point right there, because it's not that much going on in Henley at night, and I like that now, so I agree with what she's saying. Like, I've lived there for 30 years, and with them things shut down, I would rather nothing be there than to let this come. So that's my personal opinion, you know, so I'm just saying, we've been here for a long time.
Thank you.
I would like to address her question of the lawsuit. There is no lawsuit. The lawsuit you found, I Googled it and looked. It's for Dale Properties, and that's Dale Hedgepeth, which is not associated with the Dales Inc.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for clearing
Because
that up.
the owner was flipping out. He was like, we're not in
Okay,
any
yeah,
lawsuit.
No, I'm sorry.
All right,
Google
thank-
rabbit holes. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lisa Simpson. I think to my left is here. I live at 8421 Jacqueline. And this is not really for the Dales. This is for the city council members. And this is on behalf of several Ward 6 members that are supporting, or they want to, they're cautiously supporting this project. So I'll just read the letter to you. I come before you on behalf of several of the Ward 6 residents, homeowners and renters alike, who care deeply about our neighborhood and the future of our community. There are strong feelings on both sides regarding the proposed Dales multifamily apartment project, and it is important that those concerns are acknowledged with the respect. I'm sorry, I'm freezing in here. Acknowledged with respect and sincerity. Many residents have voiced fears that developments like this could over time become poorly managed, fall into disrepair, and contribute to increased crime. There is a real and understandable concern that without consistent oversight through code enforcement, property management, and public safety presence, the property could decline and negatively impact surrounding homes. These concerns are not rooted in opposition to growth, but in past experiences where parts of our community have felt overlooked, under-resourced, and at times forgotten. At the same time, there are residents who see the potential in this project. A $10 million investment in Ward 6 represents an opportunity, if done right, to bring quality, affordable housing to seniors, individuals with disability, and working families. It also has the potential to signal to other investors that Hazelwood, and specifically Ward 6, is worth investing in. That kind of momentum could positively impact not just our ward, but neighboring areas as well. So tonight, the message from some members of Ward 6 is not one of division, but of cautious support with clear expectations. Residents are asking this council to ensure that this project is held to the highest standards from the beginning and throughout its lifespan. That includes strong ongoing code enforcement, accountability, and responsive property management, consistent public safety presence, clear oversight mechanisms to prevent long-term decline. Ward 6 wants to be protected from neglect and from any pattern of allowing substandard properties to take root. We also want to be clear, or very clear, about the kind of growth we support. Our community does not want to continue being defined by an overt concentration of liquor stores, smoke shops, or similar businesses. Ward 6 is a community of families, seniors, and hardworking individuals. We are more than that, and our development should reflect that. Ultimately, this is about trust. Trust that the city of Hazelwood sees Ward 6, trust that our concerns matter, trust that investment in our neighborhood will lead to improvement, not decline. If this project is done right, with accountability, transparency, and a commitment to long-term quality, it can be a step toward restoring that trust and building a stronger future for Ward 6 and our entire city. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Did you need a copy of this, Julie?
Thank you.
Good evening, City Council and citizens of Hazelwood. My name is Ronald Simpson. I live at 8421 Jacqueline Court. I'm the husband of Lisa Simpson. But I got up to say that I look at any progress is better than no progress at all. And I've seen that building sit there for a long, long time with nothing done to it. But like everyone's sitting there saying, we really want to make sure it's done right. I had a question for Mr. Scallion? Yes, sir. Okay, and that was, a question that was raised about, is it gonna be community laundry area?
There'll be multiple.
I mean, but there's no individual laundry in the apartments
Could you give your
themselves?
response in the microphone, please?
Yes, there are multiple community areas that are code-driven, so tenants will have a code. Tenants can go in and use those laundry facilities.
Okay, and then also, I wanted to know if, within the cost, because we're looking at, you say the square footage is gonna be 450 to 500 feet. There's only so much you can charge for, you know, that amount of space. And is the, utilities gonna be included?
Yes, sir, all utilities. Yeah, all utilities are included. They're not metered individually with the current. It just makes sense. So ultimately, electric, water, sewer, gas, trash, Wi-Fi, and most of the times laundry is included with the rent.
Okay, now, is the utilities gonna be electric or electric and gas combination type?
It'll be a combination. The water heaters in most of these, the commercial water heaters do run on gas, so that will be an expense that
Okay,
is
but what
just,
about like the ovens, for instance?
well, the ovens will be electric.
Okay, and see, and then my question is, so then will you have a backup generator for the whole facility? Because if you got handicapped senior citizens there and your electric go out, they don't have,
That is a very good point. We have not discussed that at this time, but I see validity in that point, 100%.
okay, and that's my concern, because, like as a homeowner myself, I have a backup generator now because of the years that I spent going through power outages and stuff, and I know that a gentleman across the street, his wife was on oxygen, so he had it set up where he was on a different grid. And even though our lights would go out, he would have power. But that was because his wife was handicapped. But I'm saying, with this being a handicapped facility, are you gonna get them on a special grid so they don't suffer through these type of times?
We have not looked into that at this time, but it is something that I will propose and totally agree with the validity of that, especially given the demographic of our clients being elderly. I think it's even more so important. Many of them don't have others to take care of them. They take care of themselves. So I see the validity.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Dorothy Squires, and this will be short and sweet. I moved to Hazelwood in Ward 6 on Lawford Lane the summer of 1971, almost 55 years ago. I can remember when our city officials were approachable, visible in the community, and attended neighborhood events like National Night Out in each ward. It's important to have that connection with the citizens. I am here tonight. Those of us who are speaking on this subject are here tonight to say that we support the efforts put forth to revitalize and give new life to the Dales buildings. Let me say that again. We are here tonight to say that we support the efforts put forth to revitalize and give life to the Dales buildings. However, we will not accept the same situation and conditions that existed before. We encourage you to confirm facts, evaluate the risk, and do everything possible to ensure that this will be a positive business deal for Ward 6, the city of Hazelwood, and North County. Do not rubber stamp and pass this without exercising due diligence. Hazelwood has a village of citizen volunteers who work on committees, commissions, boards, etc. And they do this to make this a better place to live, to work, and to play. We have accomplished much, but there is more work to be done. Let's step up to the plate and get the job done. Thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
I'm gonna sign my name here. 8406 Rena Court. 31425. Just like to say hello to the city council and everybody in their respective places, and also to the audience. I was just thinking about the property at hand, and I was looking at the property because I passed by the state, said 8406 Rena Court. The front of that building, they got electrical utility. Hadn't been long, been built, a whole lot bigger. They tore the old one down. On one side of that building, they also have the electrical line easement. On the other side of that building, they got the, like a church building there, I believe it is. Behind it, they got a large apartment complex. We won't talk about the others that a little further off and the others that's on development. But you know, it just don't seem like it's enough room in that area for us to park in. And also as far as the amount of people that may be going in and out. So I ask the council to vote against it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Claire Fates, I don't live in Ward 6, but I do live in Hazelwood, so of course I'm concerned of things going on in Hazelwood. I keep hearing about these apartments are going to be for people, low income, whatever. I have yet to hear what any average price of rental would be for these apartments and how that would fit into, we have a lot of apartments in Hazelwood in different areas, and how that corresponds to apartments already in Hazelwood. Are they gonna be lower priced? Are they same average? You know, unless they're discounted somehow, I don't know how lower income people are gonna afford them. So I have not heard anything about that. I think it would be nice if they come and had some presentation, since they have other properties, that they could have shown us what some of their other properties look like. We do have the big screens, as we've been told, that it could have been put up here so everybody could at least had an idea what kind of apartments we're talking about, what they actually look like. So I don't think they've done their due diligence with this city in that manner. The other thing is how long, since they have a history of doing these apartments, how long do they have people live in these apartments? He's talking about this is a first step, I guess, to get an apartment, maybe save money, get a house. I don't know what the deal is. So how long do people actually rent these apartments for? If we're talking senior citizens, are we talking, do they have a lot of senior citizens? Do they stay there until they either need to go someplace else or they die? You know, what's the residency rate? What's the turnover? I think that's important. The other thing that concerns me greatly is we have companies that come in, they do stuff, and then they sell the place off. You know, we've seen this happen. I've seen this happen numerous times. Somebody comes in, buys a company, they do whatever they do, get their money out of it, they sell it to somebody else, and it's somebody else's problem. This company says, you know, they want to do this, and they're great at this, and blah, 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 and, you know, they got a bill of malarkey they're trying to sell us. What's their plan? How long, they haven't been in business, in my opinion, that many years. Are they dedicated to having this property and not selling it? Is there something this council can do to say, if you sell the property, these other people have to come in and do the same thing that you agreed to do with having these on-site residents to make sure the property is being managed and all of this stuff, you know, that I've seen it happen too many times. They sell it off to make a profit, and the next company is not doing what the first company did, and that's where these people are gonna have this problem. It becomes, the property goes downhill. And so there has to be a way to prevent that from happening, in my opinion, for this to go forward. He's also talking about this being for seniors. How handicap accessible is it? Are they having wider doors in these apartments for people with wheelchairs and walkers and can get through them? Because not all doors are equal, in case you don't know that. You can get your house built with wider doors to accommodate wheelchairs and that. And if you're talking about that type of clientele, is that what they're putting in? Are they putting in handbars and handrails in the bathrooms? Are they gonna have bathtubs? Are they gonna have showers? You know, but if you're gonna wanna tell me you're gonna do with older people, handrails are essential in bathrooms, because that's the #1 place they fall and end up hurting themselves. So it just seems to me a lot of details, in my opinion, I want to know before they build or get approval. I'm not against improving, as Lisa's statement said, making improvements, but the details are important. And if they're going to do this, I would have liked to have seen something other than him just talking about it. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
So, a couple of things. The prices he had mentioned early on, that they haven't quite decided on those yet. I also think that before they go to the Board of Adjustments, is that the next one that they go to, the Board of Adjustments, that they were gonna come back and present, correct?
It's my understanding we go to the Board of Adjustments before we come back here and present?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, okay.
I will just tell you two things. As far as rents go, they range anywhere from the Dales from $650 to like $850, $950. That's for the one bedrooms and bigger. All utilities pay. They're not. We don't know where this one will land until we see how much it costs. But the other thing, the Dales own close to 30 properties and have never sold one. Thank you.
Okay. And then, while I am not an attorney, I'm just addressing. I'm not an attorney. I am a real estate agent in another life. And a lot of people are talking about what kind of income are these people are going to have, or what kind of, as agents, it is a federal policy. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act reads, prevents lenders from discriminating against applicants based on race, religion, age, or marital status. So, the lady that was here earlier wanted to know that information. They can't do that anyway. If somebody comes in and applies, unless it's for a 55-plus community or a
Can't ask about income, though.
whatever community, they will go through a process of, he's assured us, background checks. And, you know, if you only make $100 a year, you're not gonna be eligible to pay a $650. So I just wanted to put that out there, that it's not something that can be determined by just anybody. It is a federal housing requirement. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Just allow you to make a couple more comments. I was going to ask for one or two more public if there's anybody.
Okay, I guess I'll wait for them. I was just finalizing if there were no other comments.
Yeah, is there anybody else from the audience who'd like to come up and speak on this project? We've had a record number of speakers tonight, good and negative and positive, so I'm happy to have this type of dialogue with residents, but go ahead, you wrap it up, and then I can close the public hearing.
Someone sees my mouthpiece on the floor anywhere, just let me know.
Did you
But,
say how long the leases are? Do they sign year leases,
Yeah,
2-year leases?
The most of them are at least annually.
Okay,
We
I was just
do,
making
like,
sure
we have
that-
students that
Because
live in
someone
some.
asked that out there.
We
It's
have
not
students that live in
less than a
some,
year.
professors that live in some, schools, like if there's a college nearby, you don't want to make them stay for a whole year if they're only going to be here for 8, 9 months, go home
Okay.
during the summer, things like that. We try
Somebody
to
asked
tailor
that, I
to
was
them.
making sure.
There will be no weekly or bi-weekly or any of that. But I was just ultimately saying thank you for the time. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I completely understand all of their concerns. It sounds like these people have dealt with the certain things for a long time, and I may not have been as aware of that, but I am very much well aware of that now. I will tell you that it is my commitment that, and for the Dales as well, they do not want that either. 100%. I mean, no one wants to put that much money and effort and time and risk into a property for it not to work by letting unsavory people live there, you know, or letting the riffraff or having cops called all the time. That's just not a good look for any property, and that's not what the Dells is about. I do understand, again, their concerns, and I appreciate their voicing those concerns. I'm willing to work with hand in hand to help whatever we can and do, but we just politely ask that give us the chance, give us the opportunity to do it, and I appreciate all of your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. If the council has no further questions, I'll ask for the reading from the planning and zoning.
Mr. Strutman made a motion, seconded by Mr. McGee, to approve the petition for a change in zoning to rezone a 3.62 acre lot from C2 General Commercial to R6 Multifamily Dwelling at 7350 North Hanley Road. The motion passed by a vote of 5 in favor and 2 opposed.
Questions or concerns from the council members?
Make a motion for first reading. I'll make a motion for first reading.
Second? Motion and a second. We'll go ahead, since this is such a contested, unless there's any objections, we'll go ahead and do a roll call.
what you want to do.
Unless the council has any objections.
Sorry, had to make my notes. Mayor Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Matlock? Mr. Taylor? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Hatton?
Yes.
Mr. Hoops?
Yes.
Mr. Abishon?
No.
Mrs. Henderson?
Yes.
Ms. Wadlow?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Well, this moves us down the agenda to unfinished business. There was nothing removed on communications. Unfinished business, is there any unfinished business amongst the council members? Hearing none, we got mayor and council reports. We've got discussion on appointment of the municipal judge, 11A. I think, just publicly speaking, we did have a meeting with the judge, just to let, on the record, that we met last week with the judge and was able to ask questions and get some answers on better understanding on how the court's system operates. If anybody got any comments on this or suggestions on where to go? Not hearing none, if there's no objections, we can move on with the appointment. So it would be appropriate to appoint.
Make a motion to put Judge Monty.
Second that.
There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
Ayes have it. 11B, we've got May 13th work session agenda items. No discussion. Under mayor and council reports, I'd like to, we had comments made on our charter tonight and under under citizens hearings. And I've been thinking lately that it's been over 10 years since we normally do our charter review every 10 years. So I would ask the city clerk to prepare some information on how that's done, what the council's role is in this and appointments, and take that into consideration next month on if that's what we want to do. Okay? It's actually done about every 10 years, I believe, the charter review. Doesn't have to be every 10 years, but it's probably been that long since we've, at least 9 years or so. Okay, if there's no further questions, Julie will, go ahead.
I do have, well, maybe I should ask it in city manager. I wanted to ask, do we know what's going on behind Jack in the Box on Howder Shell? They're building something.
It's gonna be a bank,
It
if
was
I'm
a
not
car wash
mistaken.
back there, and now they're doing all kinds of,
Am I still here? I'm sorry, I don't.
From what, from what
They
I'm
didn't
mistaken,
come
it's
before
gonna
the
be a bank.
council. That's one of those projects that they didn't need a special
Yeah,
land use
they-
permit or any approval from the council, so we never got a report on a
That
building.
lot was
It
split
meets all-
into,
Behind,
Jack in the Box
Jack in
on
the Box.
Howder Shell. It was a car
it
wash.
used to be the car wash, they split in two, they parceled off the tower between Jack in the Box and Subway.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the original question is, but yes, there is a cell tower or a communication tower there that I believe was subdivided there from that property, that sits on its own parcel now, and the old car wash is being redeveloped into a credit union.
Okay. And why wouldn't they need to come before council?
do they need a slip or anything else?
If it's a permitted use
Yeah.
within that zoning district, they
Oh.
don't need to do
Right,
that.
yeah, if there's no special land use permit required, it falls under an allowable use with the zoning.
Okay.
They'd still have to
Thank-
come to us for building permits and
Yeah.
occupancy permits.
Okay.
But that's administratively handled.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
have questions. The gentleman here from the last meeting, Mr. Spurlock. When you came up last meeting about Civic Center East, I got with David and Doug from Parks to address your concerns. So, things that have happened so far at East and things that are coming up. So far, what they have done, they upgraded the elevator because of the flood that we had. So that's one of the things that they've done. And then they also did the dividers in the room. They redid the dividers in the rooms. The gym floor, they're working to get that redone in the basketball court, and then also the walkway. Is that the walkway that's upstairs? They're looking to replace that, and it looks like it's going to be prior to June 30th of this year. They're also looking to put additional security cameras in the Civic Center, in the multiplex room. They're also looking to do carpet in the multi-purpose rooms, and also looking to do like the kitchenettes to change them over. Let's see, that looks like for the 26-27 CIP budget, which is for next year. So does that kind of help you of what we're trying to do for the Civic Center East?
It sounds like y'all not trying to do nothing for the kids. If you look at other civic centers, and I got documentation at home, like Florissant redid theirs, they put a game room in there. They did stuff like that. Like what y'all doing, don't do nothing.
This is
for
not,
the
this
kids.
is not,
But
okay,
go ahead,
okay,
that's
sorry.
fine.
You go ahead and handle it.
Okay.
Not a debate or a
So-
question and answer.
Okay, so the questions that you asked last time is upgrading the Civic Center. So the question that you just asked for that, I will have to get back with you, okay? Because I'm just answering the questions that you asked from last meeting. There are things that I would love to do for the kids, but right now, this is not where we're gonna talk about that, okay?
But that is, when I brought up the Civic Center, I directly said what it has to do
This
with
was-
kids
this is-
having somewhere to play, and that, those are not solutions. And if it's still flooding and you're fixing it, you're just spending money
sir.
for it to flood.
You've already made your comments, and there's really only counsel, so Lisa, I think you did ask a question upon him. Let's not do that, because you're creating dialogue. Let's just keep it at statements, if you could. Yeah. She would like to set up a meeting with you, so.
We'll get together, okay? Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I do have two things that I wanted to bring up. There are two items that are coming up on the calendar, both on April 11th. Florissant is hosting an electronics recycling at St. Ferdinand Park from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's open to all St. Louis County residents. And then also on April 11th at Hazelwood Trash Bash at Music Park. It starts at 9 a.m., so please mark your calendar, and if you can attend and participate, please attend. That's it, that's all I have.
Anything else from council members? Anything else from council members? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and move on down the agenda. City Manager's Report, consideration of agreement for traffic signal improvements.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At the last meeting, Tabitha Locke, who is the area engineer for MoDOT for North St. Louis County, gave a presentation about the improvements that are taking place along Lindbergh. in that she talked about the fact that they will be changing some lights and posts along Lindbergh in the city of Hazelwood per agreement with us. Normally, they'd be just the standard silver poles that you see. They are willing to paint those and be consistent along the road, and they will be a green. For them to do that, there will be a charge to the city of Hazelwood for, if I read the contract right, $5,649 in rounded numbers. So the contract before you is a request to make that payment to MoDOT so we can have the consistency of green posts along Lindbergh when they do that project this year.
Questions for David?
What budget is that coming out of, and why is MoDOT not doing that? Because it's our,
MoDOT has standard poles that are silver. If they want specialty poles for any community, and you want them colored to your specifications, then they will charge you to powder coat those poles.
and what budget does that come out of?
It's a public works budget. Do you remember which one it specifically is? Is it? Should be under ED along with the Lindbergh Street. Right, okay. Yeah, there is a transportation aspect in the economic development budget for that.
Any other questions for David?
We're asking for first read. Yes, please.
No further questions for David. Is there a motion to go ahead and put this on for first reading?
So moved, Taylor.
Second, Matlock.
And a motion and a second. Any further discussion, questions? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next on the agenda, I'm going to ask Doug Littlefield to come up and talk about a proposal that we have before you to sell the sports complex to the St. Louis Cricket Club. Doug's been working very, very diligently on this, and I will defer to Doug now. Thank you, Doug.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mr. O'Keefe, pleasure to see you again. As Mr. Leeser mentioned, we have an offer on the table from the Cricket Club to purchase the sports complex. What I'd like to lead into this, I know it's been a long night, but I'm going to ask for 6 or 7 minutes of your time here to talk about the history since we've had the sports complex, where we've been, and where we're at currently here. So I will move quickly. I will field any questions you have when we get through this. Here we go. So in 1999, the Hazelwood Youth Athletic Association had operated the sports complex property for decades and was failing. They were in tremendous debt, and conditions at the complex had become undesirable, and their program was falling apart. They approached the city with an offer to sell the 19.73 acre complex to the city so essentially they could pay off their debts. The city agreed to the sale and allowed them to continue using the fields for their league. However, they dissolved their association within about the next year, year and a half. Okay, so now we had a complex. It's very difficult to reestablish a complex in a market that's already decades old, and your site has a preconceived reputation out there. We brought in lots of dirt, laser-leveled fields, fixed dugouts, the concession stand, demolished and removed an unsafe building, and began programming the complex. We began programming the complex with adult softball, youth learn-to-play programs, field rentals, including cooperative baseball tournaments with outside organizations. Also during this time, we were contacted by the Midwest Cricket Club, who had recently lost their home field to the renovations of Forest Park. The Cricket Club moved their home field to the sports complex. Over time, they built 2 cricket fields, put in 2 concrete pitches out there, and continue to play most weekends, April through October, to this day. In the mid-2000s, we had reestablished that the complex was a viable place to play and hold tournaments. We rebuilt the full-size baseball field with dugouts, which utilized blocks from the then being built new Busch Stadium, and a new small pitching machine field for the youngest age group right up there by the concession stand. We created a partnership with the Slava League, the St. Louis Area Baseball Association, which was a select upper-level baseball league with youth and high school age teams. we were able to field enough of our own teams that we created a partnership with the Florissant Area Athletic Association, which I'll refer to as FAAA as we move forward. They operated out of a 12-field, 18-acre complex that operated off of Shackelford and Weehop. Both facilities were able to offer home and away league games for our teams. We attracted an outside tournament organization, Game Time Sports, who utilized both the FAAA and our complexes simultaneously for large 75 to 100 team tournaments. This partnership was essential and considered a great success, as our facility to this day has no lights, no water or sewer service, and all of the original backstops and dugouts, and a site that half of it flooded for 2 to 4 weeks, the majority of the years that we have owned it. We also had to compete with a well-established $20 million facility, BMAC, less than 4 miles down the road, that was supported with hundreds of thousands of dollars and an extensive dedicated staff. For nearly 15 years, we continued working successfully with FAAA and Game Time tournaments. Then in 2019, COVID happened, and we did not have a season at the complex at all. Local and state regulations prohibited the activities we had at the complex, and everyone was under lockdown. The complex was closed to the public during that time. Then in 2020, the city decided as a budget reduction to cut the Parks and Recreation Division staff in half, close the complex permanently, and close Civic Center East. As a result of these cuts, the full-time position who ran the complex was eliminated, along with the seasonal staff who worked at the complex. The complex entered a complete shutdown mode for the next year and a half. I was directed to allow the complex to go back to seed at this point. We were not going to be using it any longer. When the COVID restrictions were loosened, however, because we had people just show up and use it anyway. Even if the facility was closed, we had people show up and mow them a spot and have a practice during that time frame. So when the COVID restrictions started to loosen up, myself and Josh Veman, who's now a full-time employee for us, and 2 college kids got the 2 large fields going, the little kids going, and of course cricket was ready to go and come down there. So those fields were used for practices and eventually a few games, and cricket was full on the weekends. We even hosted a smaller Game Time tournament during this time. This was during COVID. Shortly after that tournament, however, Game Time tournaments no longer felt North St. Louis County was a market worth hosting tournaments in. They moved out of our area and mostly utilized newer complexes to the south and west of us with newer amenities and turf fields. No rainouts. In November of 2023, Doug, get the complex going again. Okay, so we were allowed to hire a new employee, which would once again oversee the sports complex as part of his duties. We were once again going to start programming the complex and begin full maintenance. That gentleman stayed on for 7 months before leaving to pursue a teaching and coaching career. During that time, we offered a T-ball class and maintained the 3 fields for rental practices and a handful of games early in the season. The complex was primarily being used for cricket each weekend. This once again left us scrambling to provide the most basic of services, with 2 seasonal employees mowing the main areas and fields twice a week, providing practice fields on the main and small field, and cricket every weekend. The sports complex position remained unfilled again until September of 2024. That employee left in July of 2025. The 2025 season, we once again ran a handful. This is last year, okay? This 2025 season, we ran a handful of senior league games on the big main field, and we ran practices on that field as well as the little kids field. Cricket continued every weekend into October, as it has for the last 20 years. That brings us up to date now. The position who would manage this complex on a daily basis, seasonally of course, and be down there, is still vacant since last July, and there is no intention to fill that position at this time. The city has shown little interest or intent to fund proposed improvements to the complex over the last 20 years. It's just a fact. The city Baseball and softball market in our area continues to shrink. Numbers have been down annually at the complexes that remain nearest, i.e. BMAC and ABC Parks. The FAAA is no longer in existence, and their complex has been sold for redevelopment. Currently, the Cricket Club has provided the city with an offer to purchase the sports complex. They want to have, develop, and run their own cricket facility and programs in this area of St. Louis County. They have been excellent tenants and stewards for their sport for the last 20 years. They have agreed to keep the property for a minimum of 5 years and offered the city first right of refusal in the event they sell the property after that time. I have Priya and Ranjit Singh is here tonight from the Cricket Club. If you all would like to ask them any questions. At this time, if you would all like to ask me any questions.
Questions from council members? Any questions from council members? Price tag we paid on that?
We paid $125 for the original 17 acres, and then we were at, I think, 2.25 for the Fisher property, which is off of Teson Road, which allowed us access. Before we purchased that Fisher property, when it would flood every year, we had no way to get into the complex. So in 2007, we purchased the Fisher property when they moved, and that's where the parking lot is located that you run into off of Teson Road.
At 225?
Yeah.
Fisher property.
So I don't know, I guess to summarize, we can't, we don't have an opportunity really for a full-time professional to stay down. I can't keep them on staff. We are having an incredible time getting any applications. The 2 kids that I've had the last 2 summers that work for us in between their summer classes and their summer baseball schedule, both are seniors. I don't know that we're going to have them back this year. You can't run a complex off of 3 people. It's just not going to happen. And, I don't know what your expectation is for the future for this facility, but as I mentioned, there's never been any, what are we going to say, enthusiasm to make improvements to the facility or do anything. And since we eliminated that position, we have just been in absolute, we're mowing the main cricket area, and that's really all that's getting done at this point. And it allows them to continue to come and play, but the rest of the complex, it's going to waste down there, and we don't have a stellar answer to change that. It's not what's happening here. It's not the trend where we're at locally, and
You guys please keep conversation or step out in the lobby. This is like the 3rd, 4th time that we've had a disturbance from the audience. Thank you.
Let me also add to that we support the staff and the city manager supports the idea of selling this property to the Cricket Club. And if you take a look at it, and I'll give Chief Hudnick credit for this observation, on one side of town, we are basically going to be the world headquarters of the St. Louis headquarters for the Hinder Club, for handball, for one sporting event. Over here, we're going to basically be the central focus for cricket in the area. So, those are 2 major sporting events that are taking place that's going to put Hazelwood on the map. And they've already proven that they're a great tenant and ally for us.
They're gonna have are they just have games there? Or do they have concessions or anything like that? Are they planning on doing any of that stuff, for people that come to watch? I was just wondering.
Priya, would you like to address that?
Sign
Priya
it.
Singh.
Can we get, sign in, please?
There you go.
I haven't been down there for a very long time. I'm a retired teacher. I used to watch my kids play t-ball down there, my students, but other than that, I really haven't been down there. I've driven by it.
Hello, my name is Priya Singh. Currently at Hazelwood, we don't have functioning restrooms, we don't have any concession stands or anything. So only men's are playing, but we do have another park in the Bales Park, St. Charles. With the City of St. Charles Parks and Recreation, we got that built. So where we funded about like 20K to build the pitch practice nets, and that is dedicatedly for youth. But youth only plays certain amount of time, so we cannot generate that much of revenue. So we hand it over to men's, so they play most of the time, but youth gets the first preference on that particular ground. And that's the only one ground where youth have the privilege. And when we started this youth cricket league about back in 2011, St. Louis is the first one who started in an entire United States, and we have about 5 kids representing from St. Louis in USA Nationals, and they have been playing internationally tournaments, and they are now currently preparing for the Olympics that's coming in 2028 in LA. So we want to build some program after talking to Doug. There will be a major renovation that needs to happen, especially without restroom. I cannot, all the girls coming in and playing. Men's, they go here and there, or they drive to gas stations, but we cannot have like, family come over because there is no place to sit, so nothing that will attract even a tournament if I have to do. So we have a couple of grounds in Dardenne Perry, O'Fallon. They are building a big ground there. But again, the restroom is one of the biggest concern. So the women's program is not growing here. And we would like to do some major renovation here, which over and all I have estimated will be costing us about $1 million to raise the bed because of that flood. Otherwise, it will spoil the entire ground and the facility. Raise it, proper parking. Right now, it's not like tar or concrete, it's just pavels. And then have a concession stand functioning with proper restrooms. So those, and some sort of like when we do award ceremonies. So we have tournaments going throughout the year. So right now what we do, as soon as the tournament ends, we hand over the awards right there. But we think if we can build some sort of a functioning building where we can do a gala event. So we invite everyone as a family, as a community to come there and then do the annual event instead of just doing tournament, give the trophies, but rather bring the family together and then do a gala event where the entire year that tournaments that runs, we give them the awards, recognize people, which currently we are not doing because we don't have such facility.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I might add, just about a year ago, I was at a function where, and the governor was there, and the state treasurer, Vivek Malik, was there, and I had a name tag at Hazelwood, and he looks at my name tag, he goes, Hazelwood, he goes, I used to play cricket. He goes, Hazelwood's the best place to play cricket. And so I thought, with everything we could be known of by the state official, he knew us for cricket.
Is there any other statements or discussion from council members? I'd like to personally say, I think it's great that we have cricket down there. I think they we get a lot of comments on everything that goes on that they do, and I certainly like the proposals that they're putting together for the future, the facilities and so forth, raising the ground, parking lot, and everything else. I wish we could do the same. But I have some reservations about voting on this. One is the cost of it. We just heard the total cost of it. I think that adds up to be about as much as we're getting or less. There has been no value
Because
in
nobody
this
else
in the
wants
twen-
it.
Well, I don't know that nobody else
I've
wants it.
asked. Nobody
Okay.
else wants it.
Well, I don't want to have this
Okay.
argument.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry.
We've got other real estate deals we've got to work on, so. Nobody else wants it. There's other land down there. I remember there was farmers that wanted that land when we bought it. I don't want to go there. Those people are old and moving on in life. There's development down there, value of the land, most likely, whether nobody wants it or not, it's worth more than that to somebody. I would hate to vote on this now and regret down in the future that we sold off parkland that we could have used somewhere along the line. Might not have been baseball, it might not have been cricket, it might not have been whatever. But that's the only parkland that we own down in that area. St. Louis County is gonna make improvements. Sometime, they promised 15 years ago that they'd be doing it in 15, they'd have a plan together in 15 years to raise that road and make improvements all the way to Charbonneir. When that happens, the Greenway, Committee is going to be extending their trails through that area. And we don't have a foothold. We don't have any parkland down there. We don't have any opportunities from down the road down there because we sold it.